All right, this is the second half of the Aeneid, Book 1, lines 418 through 440. So this is line 430 through 440. This is the actual bee analogy section. Just as is the word that starts off our epic simile. Just as work, and our subject is way down here, labor, just as work exercises the bees. So apes is your object. And you can see because this is a singular verb and this is a plural es ending. During the new summer, ablative pair, through the flowery rural areas, the fields. So this is a prepositional phrase, per florea rura, under the sun. So just as the work exercises the bees during the new summer through the flowery countryside under the sun. When, and you'll notice cum a lot of times means with, but in this instance, it's not followed by an ablative noun, and there's an extra verb, educant, so when makes the most sense here. When they lead forth, these are the bees, their adult children, their adult offspring. And this is a fourth declension word. So adultos is describing fetus. This is accusative. And gentus is genitive. So of the race. When they lead forth or hatch their adult offspring of their race. This is talking about the bees. Or when they stuff the liquid honey, and this is the accusative case, this pair, the direct object of steepot. And when they distend or overstuff their cells, these are like the beehive cells, with, and then you have an ablative pair, a ablative adjective. This is an I stem adjective, which is why it has an I ending in the ablative. In this word nectar, it looks like an infinitive, but it's actually nectar, nectaris. It's a noun, means nectar. So this is a noun adjective pair. Or when they distend or overstuff the cells with sweet nectar. And this is the next section. Or when they accept the burdens, this is the direct object. And then this word, you need to help identify this by looking at the NT. So this comes from the word wenio, and it has an NT plus a third declension ending. So this is a present active participle. And the difficulty with this word is trying to figure out, well, what is it describing? So it's genitive, it's describing these bees. When they accept the burdens, this would be like the nectar or the pollen that the bees are bringing in, the burden of those arriving. So these would be the bees that are coming into the hive. Or, and then you get a two-word ablative absolute here, with a battle line drawn up. This is giving you almost like an imagery of a Caesar passage, a noun adjective pair in the ablative. It's an ablative absolute. With a battle line drawn up, when they prevent, that's arcant, prevent the stupid or ignorant pack. So this is like a herd, an ignorant herd. They prevent them from the hive, praesepibus. And then you're only left with this word phukos here. And phukos is an appositive to the word pecus, ignoum pecus. And phukos means drones. When they prevent this unknowing herd, kind of stupid herd, the drones are not supposed to be very smart. So they're preventing the unknowing herd, comma, drones, from the hives. So this whole thing again, or with a battle line drawn up, they prevent the unknowing herd, or the pack of bees, the swarm of bees, the drones from the hives. So what they're saying is that these bees are working all the time. They're either accepting these burdens of the arriving bees, or they're preventing to fight other people, other bees coming in. This is what the Carthaginians are said to be like. And labor is your subject here, and labor thrives or hums. It means like they're working really hard. And your new subject over here, mela fragrantia, the fragrant honey, gives off the odor. This word is like to smell back. Dolos, to smell, re, back, to smell back. So give off the odor of time. So subject, mela fragrantia, the fragrant honey gives off the smell of time. And the next section here, O fortunati, O fortunate people. And this is Aeneas speaking. Aeneas is using the vocative case here to address the Carthaginians as he's looking down on the city. Of whom, in this instance, whose makes more sense. So this is a relative clause, started with the word quorum, describing fortunati. Whose walls now, Yam, rise. Whose walls now rise. So he thinks these Carthaginians are very lucky that they have walls that are up, just like he wants his walls to be built. Aeneas said, so this is ending his quotation, and he's now suspicate. He's looking up at the roofs, the peaks of the city. And he's actually looking down on them. He's up on top of this hill, looking out over the city. He's kind of looking down at the roofs, the fastigia of the city. So fastigia is accusative here, the direct object of suspicate. Then our next section. He carries himself, bears himself. And Cyptus is a PPP, describing he, the subject. You notice the nominative ending. Cloaked, or having been cloaked, with a cloud. And if you don't know what's going on here, he's been cloaked, he's invisible essentially by a cloud because of Venus. Venus has helped him. And notice I'm skipping over this for now. We'll come back to this in a second. Having been cloaked with a cloud through the midst, and I'm in the midst of the men, really. He's walking down, he's carrying himself through the crowd of men, cloaked with a cloud. Now we're jumping back here to these two words, mirabile ditu. This is a very common word pattern. You have an adjective followed by a eu supine. So miraculous or amazing to say, meaning if you saw Aeneas in this position, it would have been quite a wondrous scene. And he mixes with the men. He's mixing in with the people down in the city. He's walking amongst them. And is not discerned, it's passive, and you got a negation here, is not discerned by anyone. Uli is a pronoun, and it means any. And this is dative. This is one of those, all the geniuses get the dative pronouns. And this is a dative of agent, okay? It's telling you who cannot see him. So he mixes in with the men and is not seen by anyone.